I start talking about things that maybe your groom doesn't know, like things like, I'm so happy for you. I remember when you had your first abortion. I never thought you would get married, you know?
Well, you should have known your kind of friend, right? And what
It will surprise you.
That will ruin our wedding.
And welcome back to another episode of Thenjiwe Cares. And because I care about you, guess what we are doing today? I know that over the festive season, some of you were lucky enough to beg that special someone. And you are now planning that special day. But you have a lot of questions that you need answered. And not only the people who are getting married, also, what about the people who've been invited as bridal parties or even guests? I am here with a wedding planner extraordinaire. Make your day sparkle with Empress Aluko. Link to her page is down below in the description box. Come with me as I ask her all the questions that you really want to ask, but you are too scared. Thenjiwe is here to ask those questions for you because Thenjiwe cares. My first question is, I'm getting married. I've found a venue. It says 100 people maximum. How do I decide who to invite and who not to invite?
That's very easy, guys. We all have three kinds of people in our lives, right? The people that are very happy for you. They just want to see you being happy. They're happy you're getting married in the first place. Number two are the people that are indifferent. If you invite them, if you don't invite them, it doesn't make that much difference. They're just indifferent, right? And the third set of people are those that don't even like you. They're not even happy that you're getting married in the first place. So I personally would want the first set of people at my wedding. So that will help me cut down the guest list to have those people mainly. I just want to be happy, and I want people that are happy to come to my wedding.
But if you're having a big wedding and you're spending a lot of money, you want some of the enemies there.
Oh, please. I don't.
Just to see that it really did happen.
Oh, gosh. No, I just want the right people at my wedding. So people that are going to be happy for you, happy with you, and they're going to be happy that they are there on the day. That should be your priority. You don't really care about your enemies. They're going to see on social media anyway.
But the main problem is with parents. Whether your parents or the in-laws, they also have a lot of people they want to invite. Then how do you say, especially with us African mothers, they want to invite everyone at church. They want to invite that auntie who last saw you when you were 3 weeks old.
Oh, gosh.
But she was so good to you, she actually gave you your second name. How do you not invite her?
If you've got a limited number of people that you can invite, you really need to tell your parents. You need to let them understand that you can't exceed that number, and what you can do is to give them maybe a maximum of 10 guests that they can invite. Well, yes, that might be a little for some parents, but that can be a lot for another family. But they have to understand that the wedding is not about them, it's about you guys. And usually nowadays couples actually fund their own weddings, and if this is what we can afford, they just have to respect our wishes. So they can choose whoever they want to invite out of those, you know, the 10 guest allowance that we've given them. They can choose to invite whoever they want, but at least they're not inviting the whole world to our party. If you give some parents that allowance, I tell you, they will invite the whole of their village, the whole of their town to your wedding. And it's about us, it's not about them. You have to appreciate that.
I like how you say that couples pay for their weddings, because I have a question about people who are invited to be part of the bridal party, but are asked to pay for their own outfits or their own hairstyle, even makeup, sometimes even accommodation and transport. So as someone who's being invited to be part of a bridal party, should I be told before I say yes or no? Or should I, and also, is it okay to say no, I can't afford it? Or does it make me sound jealous? Because sometimes you just can't afford it.
So what I usually say, or my advice is, if you want to approach your bride or people that you want to have in as your bridal party, have an estimated costs, right? So how much it's going to cost them to be part of your bridal party. So when you approach them and you tell them that, or you ask them if they would like to be part of your bridal party, you give them an idea of how much it's going to cost. That way, they can't say that you didn't carry them along and they didn't know it was going to be this much, which they can't afford. So even before they accept it, they'll say to you, yes, that's fine, I can afford it. Or no, I can't afford it. And straight away, you know who else to approach to be part of your bridal party.
Because sometimes you even know how much the groom paid for the bride price. And you're like, why am I paying more than the bride price for my outfit to your wedding?
Well, that was why I said in the first place, you need to have the right people, you know, people that are happy for you, okay? So you need to have in your bridal party people that are happy for you and people that are happy to be part of your bridal party. You have to make that very clear.
And then when it comes to choosing a bridal party, as a bride and groom, how do you choose? Who do you choose? Because sometimes you have friends that are good friends, you've been friends forever, and you know they want the best for you, but their face doesn't qualify to be part of your wedding photos.
Oh gosh, so you're gonna dismiss someone from being part of your bridal party because you just don't like their faces, even though they're good
people
friends?
are ugly. Sometimes we have ugly friends.
How can you say that? Well, you can't say that to them though, because that's gonna strain your relationship with them, especially if they're nice people.
But then do you pay so much money and ruin your own like big day just because you can't say, I'm sorry my friend, I would have loved you to be part of this, but the facial features.
Well, I wouldn't say or advise that you should dismiss someone because they don't look very beautiful to you. If you don't want to include someone as part of your bridal party, you can tell them diplomatically. You just go about it nicely. You know, you don't come across and say to them, oh, I don't like your face, so you can be part of my bridal party. At least if you explain to them, you know, in a nice way, as long as they're your good friends, they will understand. And as long as they are still invited to your party, you know, or you can even give them maybe a responsibility or something to help you with as part of your planning process. So that way they don't feel left out. But you just don't say to them, I don't like your face and you can be part of my bridal party. That is very rude. Don't do that.
Don't be too honest. And then also, because weddings are so expensive, people are paying so much money. And most weddings nowadays, it's per head. You pay per person. If you're going to have 100 people, they charge you per person. It's so much for each and every person that's coming.
Yeah.
People RSVP, and then something happens. They're no longer coming. Should I charge them? Because I've paid for food that nobody ate. I've wasted money. In fact, I could have invited someone else in their space, but they decided not to show up. Should I demand like a sick note from a doctor to prove that? Because this is serious business. I'm paying money.
Well, honey, you need to understand that weddings are expensive, and that is part of the wedding costs, right? It's a risk. Yes, you've invited people to come for your wedding, and anything can happen at the last minute, which you need to appreciate and
That's
understand.
what I'm saying. If they can't give me a sick note from a
What do you mean by
doctor
sick note?
to prove that why they couldn't come, and if it's not a reasonable like excuse, then they must pay me back for the money I paid.
What is reasonable is relative, right? What is reasonable to you might not be reasonable to me, and what is reasonable to them, you might consider it not being reasonable. So I think
That's why all I will accept is a sick note or a death certificate. Otherwise, I need the money back.
Oh, please, you can't do that. You cannot do that. And even if you're asking them for the money, are you going to sue them? Or what are you going to do? To pay, like, for the food that nobody ate? No, you can't do
And
that.
also,
that's part of the cost. You've got to bear it.
As a guest, I've been invited. And now something comes up. I can no longer go. Can I just send anyone to go and replace me?
No. Because they invited you for a reason. They've got that relationship with you. You are the one that they want at that party or at that wedding. Why should you invite someone else? Or why should you ask someone else to go in your
Because
place?
once you've invited me, this is now my place. I can decide.
You can't. So you say to them, right, what you should do, say to the celebrant or the couple that you can't make it anymore, and give them the allowance to use that space or allowance for somebody else that they want to
But
invite.
I need someone who's going to tell me what was going down at the wedding. I need
gosh.
someone who's going to bring me the gossip. Someone who's going to be doing those live videos for me.
Well, you can still watch their video, or you can see on social media. Nowadays, everything happening can be, you know, put on social media live, so you won't miss out on it too much.
I like the point of social media, because I've been to so many, not just weddings, but especially weddings, where as soon as the couple walks in, everybody's on their phone, everybody's on their selfie stick, and for me personally, it ruins everything. So how do you control that? And people are posting, before the couple even start posting about their own wedding, people are already posting, like, not necessarily the nicest photos, because when you hire a photographer, you are going to choose, okay, I like this one no, this one yes, but people don't even give you that option.
It's just the life that we're in nowadays, like the 21st century. everybody posts on social media. What you can do is to maybe include on the invite and say to people that your wishes, or part of your wishes, would be for people not to take pictures at your wedding. So even before people accept your invite, right, they think about it, like, do I consider it, you know,
important for me,
important, rude, or do I want to come without my phone or without my camera? Before they say yes, they come in, right? And on the day as well, on the day of the event or your wedding, you have to make sure that your MC, the master of ceremony, for those that don't know, so the MC has to keep reiterating it and telling people, the guests, that the couple would like you to keep your phones away, you know, or your cameras, because the professional photographers are there. Or there might be a time during the program where people can bring their phones out and take pictures. You know, it's really up to you what you want. But, you know, if you don't have those prior arrangements or prior decisions made before the day and on the day, people are still going to post, because that's just the life that we're living. That is just the reality of life. 21st century. Social media is there for everyone seeing what is going on live around the world.
MC, what advice can you give people about choosing an MC? Because I know a lot of weddings these days, they like to hire a comedian, but you still have family members that get upset because your uncle wants to be the MC. How do you choose an MC for your event?
If you've not seen a video that I did on the things that I look out for when I go partying, you might want to see it. I'm going to put the link in the description box below. You going for your MC. Number one thing I say is look for somebody that is going to carry everybody along, irrespective of their ages and their backgrounds, right? People are there for a reason. So if you've got your grandparents, you know, you've got your nieces, they're two different generations, right? And you want someone that can carry everybody along and everybody having fun, enjoying themselves at the same time. And again, your MC should be somebody that, in my opinion, is funny, right? Very funny. They're able to introduce games, and somebody that can just improvise. So even if things are not going according to plan, they just know what to bring in so that the guests will not notice the gap and they can still keep having fun. You know, it's kind of like a plan B. So experienced and professional MCs usually have those plan Bs. Now, if you've got uncles and people that want to be your MC, well, the choice is yours. Would you rather have a professional person do it, or would you rather use your uncle who just thinks they can be MC?
And when it comes to other speakers, how do you choose? Because sometimes you go to a wedding and there are like literally 500 speakers out of the 100 guests. Like, how do you choose? Because there's always that auntie who wants to say a few words, which end up being a few pages. So how do you choose, and how do you keep to what's on the program?
Okay, so I always say, again, if you've not seen my video on the day coordination, you really want to see that. I'm going to put the link again in the description box below. You want an on the day coordinator, a wedding coordinator, right? Your coordinator would have drawn the day's itinerary, which will mirror your program. And that would have included the people that are speaking, the people that you want to speak and what they are saying about you guys, right? And you would have allocated time to them, how long they're spending saying something. So it can be maybe 5 minutes, 2 minutes. And once that is laid out in the program, the MC will call the person out and say, oh, auntie this, you're speaking, or Mrs. this, Mrs. that. Can you give us like a short, you know, a few words about the couple? And auntie or uncle will know what to say. And the MC will say to them that you've got this time slot. And if they're exceeding it, they have to stop them and say, okay, time is up. Thank you for the words. But at least it's all laid out. You know the people that are going to be speaking. And you should have spoken to them beforehand as well. So they should know that they're going to be speaking at your wedding.
And what happens when you have a person who's allocated to speak and they're saying all the wrong things? Like, you choose me to speak as a friend.
Oh, gosh.
And I start talking about things that maybe your groom doesn't know. Like things like, I'm so happy for you. I remember when you had your first abortion. I never thought you would get married, you know.
You should have known your kind of friend, right? And what
it will surprise you.
That will ruin the whole wedding. Like, oh, guys, sorry, that just sounds really funny.
And sometimes people get jealous because sometimes you're getting married to someone who first wanted me as your friend, but I didn't see potential. And now you're getting married, all those things are coming back, and I go there. front of the whole congregation, and I'm like, I know he loved me, but you know.
At that point, I think the MC should just step in. Once he sees that it's going wrong and things are not going according to plan any longer, just step in and stop the person before they cause further damage. I think that's just the best thing to do. You know, a professional MC will still kind of like just make it, you know, in a funny way, and then just take the microphone off them and ask them to go and sit down. I think that's the best way to deal with that.
What's the advisable time to start planning?
Start planning as early as possible. Usually when you have a very decent budget, and when I say decent budget, like a lot of money, planning sometimes can be a lot easier because you can afford a lot of vendors, you know, but start planning as early as possible. When you start planning as early as possible, you will save a lot of money because you'll be able to negotiate a lot like in advance with your vendors. So even if inflation increases their prices or the venues, you would have secured your price and you're good. Another reason for planning early is because you can choose the sort of vendors you want and they'll be available. So planning as early as possible will save you a lot of stress, time, and you know that you've actually sorted so many important things out. So you'll be in a good place.
For me, my advice is that plan as early as you can. Plan before you even meet the groom, so that by the time you meet him, all you need to do is find a venue. Like everything must be planned. The dress, his suits, everything, everything. All you have to do by the time you meet him is alter his suit in case it's not the same. In case it's not the right size. So start planning, whether you're single, whether you are about to end a relationship, start planning.
I will say to you, right, you can have some things in your mind, right, that you would like at your wedding, but don't finalize the planning like Thenjiwe said, because you need to give allowance to your partner as well to have a say, right, in your wedding planning. It's about you both, right? It's not just about you, remember? So, yeah, start planning as early as possible. Once you know that, yes, you're getting married, start your planning immediately, okay? You have a lot more to gain from planning early than to lose. So, start planning as early as possible and plan together, not alone. So guys, we've come to the end of today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you've not yet subscribed to my channel, please click on the subscribe button. That's the subscribe, and hit the notification bell. That way you will automatically get notified when I upload any new videos. If you've enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. Feel free to share it. Drop me comments in the comment section below. I would love to hear from you if you've got any further questions on your wedding planning.
Like I told you, I've asked all those questions that you were too scared to ask. So share this video with your friends and make sure you subscribe so that you can see all the new videos that are uploaded weekly. You upload every week, isn't it?
Yeah. Every Friday.
Every Friday.
So guys, thank you, and I'll see you at my next video. Goodbye.